What are Order going to pull out of the rabbit's hat here? Because that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like is going to take for Order to be able to achieve any point in this matchup in particular.
As it's been highlighted a lot, I think this is going to be a very, very tough match for Order. Not only is Elevate just such a strong roster that they've proven already in APAC South in 2021, but they are a strong Clubhouse team, and Order have had a sketchy past on Clubhouse. They've beaten a couple of opponents on it recently, but really none to the stature of this Elevate roster. So I think this is going to be a battle, but look, I would not put it past Order to bring out a pretty unique and aggressive playstyle that may just be what is required to counter Elevate's playstyle.
Well, you feel like if a Mute or Mozzie is banned here on the defense, it'll be particularly hard for Order to establish that kind of presence. Now, 2 hard breaches banned out, smack bang one after the other. We're going to have to look at things like secondary hard breaching gadgets. Thermites and Thatcher are still in, so very curious here to see how they're going to pan this out on the attacking side. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what Order have in the bank. Let's see whether they are good enough to go toe-to-toe with the best that APAC South has to offer.
Quite frankly, Matic, these bans have really just made this match need to be even a touch more aggressive. Losing both Habana and Maverick out of this ban phase is gonna make these attacks tough, man, especially Church Arsenal. Of course, that is where Elevate are going to be going to first, because it really is where they're going to be excelling the most with these bans. No Maverick to open the hatches, no Habana also to open the hatches. At least Kaid's off the board for that hatch denial, but some heavy reliance on probably Ace and Thermite in particular. I don't know, I just think attacks is going to be so tough in this first half in particular.
That's the thing with the Ace, like, this is just going to be so true. I'm for Order's sake right now, where are they leaning into? How are they going to make this work? So Onigiri on the Mute, and thus far putting, I believe there was a Mute, no Mute Jammer down in the dirt area, so that's going to be left breachable for now. May well go back across after all the shenanigans that it does require when setting up on this kind of defense. But shall wait and see, as an early start here is what is required from Order, bringing both the Thermite and the Ace.
On top of that, I was just looking back through the operator ban phase. Order have done this themselves. They banned second, they banned the Maverick straight away. And straight away is that entry pick onto Napier. Big entry from Ippy style, catches him in lounge. That's a great start from Order.
Hello. That's the one you want, right? Napier has just been an absolute beast for Elevate, and that is a huge kill to take. And now we are going to be requiring a lot more from Elevate in this round. Looks like they're all on site, so Order, provided they do their due diligence, they've actually got nothing really contesting them at the moment for any of these hatches, nor the kitchen floor. There's only one C4 that's already being used outside of Napier, so it's done. It's free real estate.
That it is. Still impacts in the pocket of DCH though. One right now that could go to work to trick the kitchen hatch, but regardless, Order are going to have quite a significant amount of time actually with these hatches open to be able to work some picks, and with that man advantage that they got themselves nice and early, they really are in a good spot right now. So this is going to come down to, can they contain some of this aggression from Elevate? Are Elevate going to be aggressive? Really wouldn't put it past them to maybe try a 2-man flank in this mid-round.
Oh, geez, that's ambitious. DCH nowhere in sight, or at least that impact is off the mark. So, as far as we're concerned, still a Selma charge in the back pocket for Jack Daddy. Should he decide to open up that dirt tunnel, just put a little bit of pressure on DCH there as well, which it looks like may be the call. And Order are really in great stead. They've got a minute left on the clock, and they have really started to go to town here.
Yeah, it's been great procedure for them. On top of that, there's really not much denial from Elevate. They've got the smoke babes in the pocket of Sapper, but that is pretty much it. It's going to have to come down to some raw fragging power as Order go for this execute. Pushing down main stairs to Jack Daddy. He's the one with the kit. That smoke is going to hold them back a little bit. And he just throws the last one, so this is it.
Wow.
Now, Manic, no more denial. It's down to the bullets.
The audio cue earlier for Sapper to use. That's some nice timing. Jack Daddy crumbles, but so too does Sapper as he goes aggressive down the main hallway, trying to deny it. My word, DCH is left with a Hail Mary in a 1 versus 4, and Itbistar will be watching patiently. Not a single kill on the board for Elevate in round 1.
You told me that Order we get a flawless attack against Elevate in round 1 attacking Church, I would have said, no way, Matic, not a chance. They have just done it, and that is impressive. So, hats off to Order. They executed that attack beautifully. It started from the entry within about 20 seconds from Ippy style, and it just snowballed. So, look, if this continues, Elevate might find themselves in some trouble.
That they may just do. I like the Monty pick, even if it is just showing face. Something that Elevate would be all too familiar with. And the mute has been swapped out for that Valkyrie. But in the meantime, Mozzie's being picked up on the board. So maybe some presence on that top floor after all.
Definitely like these changes so far in Elevate. You know, I think something that just works so well for their playstyle is some fluidity. Didn't feel like we saw a lot of that. And look, again, that could have just come down to the fact that they lost that opening pick so early. Really changed their game plan. Maybe ruffled their feathers, decided, okay, let's not try and play off site at all. We'll just
10 seconds remaining.
Hit the turtle on site and see what happens. So yeah, look, I'm really hoping this stays as a heavy roam, but do have the Mozzie to try and deny that intel. There's 4 players on site right now. Looks like Napi's going to go for a run up main. And the Mozzie's off site, so yeah, look, let's see what happens this round.
So, a little bit of intel on the strip side of things, and Napier does fall back down. So maybe Onigiri is just going to go on a bit of a hike, a bit of an adventure on that top floor. Nothing really reinforced upstairs to give him support. So as far as I'm aware, that was both CCTV and, yep, there we go. So to the jacuzzi wall left, nice and easily breached for Elevate, rather for Order, and Onigiri just on 40-second mark. He's completely back down in the site, and once again, I think we said this in the previous game, Raven, and you can see Order is still being very cautious in what they're trying to achieve here. It may be the 15-second difference that Elevate need.
Could be, but look, if you hear the sound cue, shoots, he scores. That's Onigiri catching a drone, so that's going to be some info denied. It's going to make it even longer for Order to be able to drone out top floor, and he's managed to snag that drone. He's got it back down on site. I think whether he's just going to continue to drone out these attack positions or just leave it for late rounds. But like you were saying, Manic, regardless, it's almost 90 seconds now that has been burned by that roam that was pretty non-existent from Onigiri after about 30 seconds.
Yep. Not wasting too much time afterwards. DCH going to be able to deny that second Selma, and maybe the third as well. There we go. It's only one Selma charge being used, and that's going to require Joker to really be the main point of opening up these hatches. No more nuisance to be made. And as of now, I think Elevate will be sitting a little bit further back. You can see not looking to contest as aggressively as previously thought. And Order just have the pick of the lot right now.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
They do much less time than the previous round, so this is going to be a little bit scarier, I dare say. Pushing down the main stairs, as they did last time. This is a very similar attack, it's just that it's taken a bit longer. They really want to be able to rush in through what's commonly called Ash Wall. It's that sidewall there in Arsenal, but it's not open. They're pinging that out. It's finally been opened from above, it looks like, by a Specker. So they're set up, but less than 30 seconds. It's going to be a tough execute, and Napier makes it tougher.
Oh, wow. Onigiri just rubbing the salt in the wounds here, but Jack Daddy may be able to find one. No, Napier gets away, still at the back of Arsenal. It's the sound cue to give him away. Sapper swings wildly, and Cutie may as well just save the KD at this point. There is literally no chance of finding all 4 players. Maybe a cheeky little kill, but Onigiri puts the nail in the coffin, and that is the kind of round you want to be seeing from Elevate.
Absolutely, especially in answer to the first round. And to tie up a point I was making way at the start of this round, it was just that their attack composition, I mean their defense composition, sorry, just looked like it suited their playstyle more. It felt like they just played a little too patient, a little too passive in the first round, which, I mean, in my opinion, it just isn't them. And so to see more fluidity, Onigiri went for that run. Sure, it wasn't much, but it just delayed so much time. And I think that just comes down to even just the reputation. Onigiri as a solid player, but just elevates playstyle. Order knew they had to be thorough. Like, if they had not been thorough and left Onigiri creeping around on that top floor, it would have been their doom. And that in itself really gave Elevate that round.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as
So
many
no
bombs
Mute
as they
and no
can.
Mozzie for this round, as Elevate have opted to bring the Bandit on Napier. Onigiri on the Valk as a 6th pick, so potato, potato. Bit of intel gathering, and undoubtedly we may well see the Bandit juggle, because, well, without that Maverick, it is going to be a lot harder. Dare say you may well see Order either try to put the pressure on from underneath, vertically
10
so,
seconds to go.
or they may just have to cut their losses and look at approaching from the con side of the map.
Yeah, definitely a lot of options. You know, they do have the frag grenades in the pocket from Cutie, so he could be throwing those frags from CC window, for example, to clear out that Bandit so that they can get the wall open. Vertical is definitely an option. One that I'm a massive fan of, you know, is even just bringing a Capitao, because then the fire pit, it stops the Bandit from being at the wall. All you have to do is just clear off the charges, and then it's openable. But you know, all of those take time, and they take a little bit of a process. That's the main commodity here, is going to be the time and the utility spent to make this happen.
So is that Ash from underneath? It is. Becca may try to hold, but will be caught from Napier, who's actually firing from that vertical line. That is a double-edged sword if I have ever seen it. And now with Specca out for the count, Order are going to have to look at maybe trying something a little bit different. And you feel like just the one player may not have been enough there, Raven.
No, absolutely not. Cutie is now down below, so see whether he can try and make an impact. There is a bit of an impact directly on top of the Bandit. Napier looking aggressive, and again, he gets the head of Cutie. Oh my lord. Order have struggled. They finally got the wall open, but they lost 2 players in doing so. That's still a win for Elevate in my books.
Let's see what happens at the end, because right now there is no denying that Elevate have won that engagement. Napier with a massive 2k onto both Specca and Cutie. It's one of the frag grenades down, and obviously a lot of the hard breaching potential. They don't have the buck there either, so they are going to have to look for these horizontal fights like this from Elevate. Onigiri just dropping down into bar now, and once again, just putting a little bit more doubt into the mind of Order. Whether they've seen him on the rotate or not is a completely different scenario. They now have control of that CCTV window.
Oh, on top of that though, Order have Rafters control. It's been completely foregone by Elevate. This is pretty significant because they have wall open with Rafters control. There's a chance they can go for this plant. There's no one watching below though, and there's no one actually going to deny vertically. So this actually could be a confirmed plant from Order.
Oh, Impy style sticks it. DCH actually finds the impact grenade, but now they've got to hold the crossfires. This is where things get tough. Jack Daddy finding the first. He needs to hold Garage. Joker holds the cross, and look how good that is from Order. Angry now has to try to get it done, but that is a masterclass of a hold, and Order secure a second round.
Massive from Order, and look, huge credit to not only the players remaining, but the entire team of Order. Who knows who made the call, but they knew they had Rafters control. And that's really the main ingredients is rafter control, kennels wall open. You're 90% set up for the plant. I don't know if they had info in lounge to say whether someone was getting it vertically deny it, but Elevate were just not ready to deny it. So a good call to go early, get the plant down, and just beautifully covered in post-plant. Again, these 2 rounds that Order have won on attack have been really well put together and executed.
This time the Mozzie has been stuck. Falk has been taken off the board. And I kind of laugh a little bit at how much the impact grenades really did to Order in terms of damage. DCH found a kill, and then further did damage to whoever that was holding the rafters. So once we look back at this, Order have taken 2 really great rounds on the basement defense and the CCTV defense, which is it's no easy task. So very happy with the start, and Elevate they definitely haven't looked their dangerous self just as of yet. Kind of felt like that rafters control nullified a lot of what we see from them. And now just hoping to clear things up, just tidy up that defense, because this very quickly can start to steam out of control. And you know, the Elevate will not be a team to let that happen, but Onigiri nearly getting caught there. That was spicy.
Would have been very spicy to start off the rounds. I think something that's happening is, I don't know whether it's an adjustment period for Elevate to adjust to Order's playstyle, but this is what I was wondering might happen, in that Order's playstyle could play into the hands, play into their own hands, you know? Like, seeing those openings and taking them is just something that Order will do. And not a lot of teams would be so keen to just jump for that plant. You know, it's quite risky. Obviously, Elevate still had the advantage that previous round in a lot of ways, but Order love to see those opportunities and seize them. They're very good at that. And because Elevate are such a fluid team, they do create a lot of those openings that teams could capitalize on, but it's risky. So I think Order just, if they hone in on what works really well for them, I feel like they really can take it to Elevate on this map.
That is a big spot from Napier right now. I mean, I don't know whether they're going to be able to cut the rotate out from Garage here, but if they were able to hold that, that could have been devastating. Regardless, they do manage to find the Kennel's wall. And just like that, they are going to play 2 from Garage, at least for now. So Order with 1:30 left. They've found themselves, I would say, in a decent position. Still needing to open the scoreboard, though.
No entries so far. Order have gotten some decent control, but yeah, it does still feel like Elevator got some great positions. Having 2 stuck on rafters is going to be a little bit tricky, but Napier's been able to rotate in. Jack Daddy, though, does finally spot him. Stelma Charge is going to be eaten up by ADS, but regardless, Order putting themselves in the man advantage again with a minute on the board is going to be favourable. Onigiri, though, is getting a bit cheeky here, Manic.
You've got to wonder, what are Order going to do to counteract this? Are they going to send a drone into Con? Because Jack Daddy has lost control of it, so you have to imagine they're going to cross their T's in this instance. And Jack Daddy is not going to show face. They're actually going to go from rafters once again, or so it looks like. Try to push out that final player and overcome the rest of Order. DCH can't get anything done. And 30 seconds left now, Raven. They do need to get a wriggle on. Oh, I love this from Onigiri.
Again, he's just so elusive, moving around. Joker does trade it back, though. Aggression from every angle from Sapphire, and he's going to get the double Manic.
This is massive. The smoke as well is going to deny the default plan. Order, they have to get a move on. They have to figure out what they're going to try to do. Sapphire plays massively from the top of red, denying every which attempt that Order made to attack that site. That is massive.
Yeah, that was massive. Honestly, Order pretty much had that in the bag. Obviously, it's never quite a done thing, but it was a 5v3. They had a solid man advantage. They had so much map control. They just couldn't quite nail it. So Sapper really saving that one for Elevate. And the fact the scoreline is 2-2, I think, is probably going to be a sore sight for Order. Really feeling like they could have been in far more control.
Yeah, would agree. I mean, that's... You feel like that is the phase 2 of the aggression from what is commonly known as, the ex-Xavier roster. Now, Elevate, it is that phase 2 aggression. You could see Onigiri, they kind of... in that instance, they've cut their losses. It's a 3 versus 5. They've already got, the rafters control. They've already... Well, garage control, I should say. And Order also have Kennel's control. And you can just see Sapper goes aggressive on the open line to Kennel's porch. You've also got Onigiri peeking from rafters to try and find something to even out those odds. It's just that second phase aggression that has really netted them a huge worth in that round. And I think in the grand scheme of the game, that's a huge round for Order to have lost.
5 seconds left.
I agree. Really could come back to bite them, but look, we'll see how we go. These bans have made these halves just a little bit more interesting. What is this from Napier? This crossbat in the corner here. Okay, look, you never know. And these are the kinds of maps that do sometimes catch people off guard. Of course, you can put the ones under the windows, but these little ones in the corners, you just don't think to look at.
Oh, that's going to be cheeky. Love that. 20 seconds on the board. Already looking for the early contact. Ippy Style live droning in as well as Joker. So they do have the mute, which is, the vast difference between what we saw in the previous matchup versus this matchup is it's going to enable a little bit more of that aggressive play style. It's going to force Order to face check a lot of things, and DCH with the perfect call. See you later, Joker. No one's watching. They're all on drones. There is no stopping that aggression. And that is a huge one for the books here.
Look, that's pretty unpredictable kind of play there, but that's also very sloppy from Order. Just having Joker, your hard breacher, with Diffuser walking into CC, completely uncovered. That's a well-seized opportunity by Elevate, and he's going to have Order on the back foot at the start of this round. DCH is just going to try and hold this solo right now. He's going to try and take more with him. He's already burned pretty much half the round here.
DCH still looking for that contact. Doesn't look like he's got anyone there to support him, so it's literally do or die here. That's an ambitious C4. Maybe if it was a second later, he would have been able to find that. It is an effective trade, though. Make that a double down as Onigiri gets caught. So far, so good from Order. Surprisingly, from how that started, they've managed to claw this one back. They now have a vaultable hole at Jacuzzi. Elevate will be feeling a little bit more pressure now.
Order really have turned the tide on that one pretty quick. Less than a minute to go now, though. This is the hard part of this attack, really, is once you've got this map control of the east, where do you take it? Specky, he's going to enter in through logistics, and he is taking this for free, basically. There is a mirror watching it, though. Cutie there to back him up. See if this nade can hit the mark, and it does! That is a beautifully cooked nade from Cutie.
That is gorgeous. Banked off the side of the wall, and now Napier has to hold strong here. It's Sapper and Napier, in fact. One with a C4 still in hand. Sees the foot, but excellent trade, Zippy style. My God, both line up. And that is, yet again, another Order round. They're looking pretty damn good right now, all things considered.
They really are. Look, they're playing quite well, and the thing that's standing out for me is just Orders are doing a great job of trading as many of these kills as possible. And I mean, like, that sounds like simple siege, but it's always more complicated than it sounds. And they're doing a really good job of it, and that's just so important against an opponent like Elevate. If you're not trading these kills, Elevate will be the kind of team that will double down on their aggression or double down on any kind of advantage. So look, I'm very impressed by Order so far in these clubhouse attacks.
Well, generally, it's the way it goes, right? Simple siege is winnable siege, so have to be overall pretty happy. And
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
now we see Elevate go back to the basement for the final defense of the half, and the final time that we actually... Sorry, not the final time. Both times we've seen this defense, it has been 50-50 now. Elevate will more than likely have the double down that they're looking for here. Definitely a pivotal round, and could be a turning point for either of these teams. A 4-2 half will go very, very nicely. But
5 seconds
I think
left.
Elevate, if they're able to do it, they will be absolutely cheering at a 3-3
Attackers
half.
are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Would say so. So let's see what they can pull out. Church Arsenal, it was a 50-50 defended site. Rounds 1 and 2. Order got it first round. Elevate got it the second. Changed their playstyle around off the back of Onigiri just having a bit of a an early run, defaulting back to site. AP's put out some pretty aggressive cameras. I thought I saw one go out and bar. So I feel like Elevator, again, pretty keen to try and put the aggression back onto Order.
And it was mentioned a fair bit, actually, in the pre-show about the different styles of aggression. Both of these teams known very well for their aggression, and it's something that you love to see come to fruition as it comes into this matchup. And I am so curious to see how Elevate decide to attack, because Order's defense will be something that is very hard to maintain. So far, though, that cheeky little line of sight that Napew's been able to get with that Vault Cam will go undetected, most likely, but how much it will give, I'm just not entirely sure. I think it was a missed C4 on their part.
It did seem that way. So Order have got themselves in a good spot right now, getting these hatches open. I think this is just, again, what's the Elevate do? They've really got two pathways they can take right now. They can try and flank or try and get some of that extra aggression happening, or they can try and anchor in. DCH has taken out Cutie. He actually has not been having a great game, which is very unlike Cutie. He's probably one of the more consistent players on the Order side. Now Onigiri's been down.
Oh, this is a little bit awkward, if you will, because DCH no more impact grenades, and that's going to be Jack Daddy opening up the kitchen hatch. Joker still with one more charge left. May well be able to open up either a third. Oh, well, no, he may actually just be able to open up Church Wall here. Still needs to be careful. What is that? A huge oversight as he peeks far too beyond the point of safety. And with Onigiri back up, this has gone from bad to worse.
It's looking much better for Elevate now. They've managed to salvage this one so far. 30 seconds for Order. They've got 3 players up, all with full HP. All been having a decent game, except for poor little Specker there on the donut. But let's see what can happen here.
No, that was an ambitiously timed C4, doesn't pay off, and now in a 3 versus 5, it's all going to have to be raw contact here. Order are going to have to go super sharp, and I just couldn't imagine that they're going to be given the opportunity to. Just like that, the trades are efficient, and Elevate even out the odds, 3 apiece as we swap halves.
I feel like that's relatively indicative of how this game has been going. I feel like, I mean, it traded back. It was an order, it went Order, Elevate, Order, Elevate, Order, Elevate. That was that half. And it did feel like it was constantly Order stepping it up and then Elevate adapting, then Order stepping it up again and then Elevate adapting. So this has been an exciting match so far, and I can't help but feel this is potentially an overtime game. I don't know. These two teams are pretty hard to separate right now, though.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Right before we came onto the caster cams, Guz had said that there were going to be some wild picks and Order showing that on defense for just a half a second. I thought the Oryx was going to be funky, but it's not going to happen. Not this time, not in this world. But the Aruni is picked, which has been the first time we'll see Aruni taken as an operator on Clubhouse tonight, that is, in the 2 matches we've seen. How Order decide to use that, well, that's a completely different story altogether. But regardless, that's spicy, Joker.
Yeah,
I love that.
This is great. Some really spicy little setups here in kitchen with the Aruni. Love to see some more Aruni usage. So, you know, the great thing with that is it's just going to require some actual utility usage to get in the room. Or you're going to have to funnel through the window. I didn't see... What? No, it doesn't look like you put one on the window.
No.
But you can watch that window jump in from below. So I like this little setup. See what Elevate do about it.
Order have a really interesting setup to begin with. I mean, from what we've seen right now, I am pretty impressed in how adaptive this is. So, I mean, it's all good and well when it looks good, but, you know, can it walk the walk? So let's wait and see how Order actually decide to approach this. Right now, 2 toward Lounge, and Specker and Jack Daddy are actually leaning into that mute pick. Obviously, being upstairs, it's going to cause a lot of time delay for Elevate to try and flush them out. How are Elevate going to deal with this? That's the real question right now. And Ippy's up there as well, my goodness.
Yeah, look, if Elevate have the right info, as soon as you identify 3 on top floor, I mean, for me, I'd be pretty keen to bank a rush. I don't know about Elevate. They probably would be too, honestly, but it's just a matter of whether they've got that info. Onigiri has found the opener, though, onto Specker. He was one of those top floor players. Looks like he got caught out on the main stairs. So the rest of these Order players are now... They're on the back foot, just trying to stay alive and burn some more time.
Specker's been awfully quiet so far in this matchup, and not something you'd hope to have seen. Napew's come through Gym Bedroom here and may just find a free pick. There's no way Jack Daddy's expecting this. It is all but free, just needs to inch around the corner, and there we go, the home run. That's 2 early picks, and for all that Order tried to achieve in this round, it may well have just crumbled in the first half of it.
That being said, Joker has answered back, and Ipisal, I don't think they know that he's around. Also, not super common to have 3 on the roam, so maybe they feel like the job's done. But anyway, it was a good start to the round from Elevate. They've burned 2 minutes, though. They haven't made a massive amount of progress towards site. Ipisal, yeah, look, they've left him completely alone up there. I honestly don't think they have any idea he is still on this roam.
This could be massive. Still, how many of those hatches are actually open right now? I haven't even heard one open yet, so Elevate are going to have to get a move on. 30 seconds left. There you go. Moto's not open. There's a lot of pressure right now. And Ippy, has he still gone undetected, Raven? My goodness.
Feels like it. He could be the saving grace here for Order. C4 missing the mark from Cutie. Again, time counting down for Elevate to make something happen. 20 seconds. Ippy makes his move.
Wow. Big,
Attackers have located a bomb.
massive for him to take 2 down. Look at Cutie's position. There is no way that he's going to go to check that. Surely not. So it's all up to Onigiri and Sapper, but Sapper finds the kill, and it just opens up the round. Wowzers, that was a game of chess from start to finish. You could not get a read on that.
That was a tough one, but look, well played to Elevate. I really felt like Ipistar was going to open it up. I mean, look, he did get a 2K. He had found that third, would have been huge. Elevate dodging a bullet there, I'd say.
Well, they can successfully take that in the pocket, use it for what it's worth. That's fine. And as we head upstairs, Order not happy to reattempt that site, which is a shame because, like we said, it was, I mean, that literally was just a
Defenders protect the bomb
very
from being used by
intriguing
attackers.
round. I mean, sometimes in those basement defenses, you know, you see, if it is the roam, you see the roam until about the 2-minute mark or even less than that, and they back away downstairs, they bunker in. It's, you know, C4's coming through the roof of kitchen, making the attackers a little bit antsy. But then it all ends the same in the last 20, 30 seconds. It's that rush on the side with the burn of utility from the defensive side. However, that was anything but. The Aruni gates, I really like their use in kitchen. You know, the roam from Ippy style. Off camera, found 2 kills in that final phase of the round. So that was really a bit unconventional. And
Attackers
in all
protect
honesty,
the located
I
bomb
loved
and
it.
defuse it.
I absolutely loved
Yeah.
it. So let's hope we see a little bit more of it.
Look, I totally agree. I just think that is the way that Order would have to go through this is just play a little unconventional, match Elevate in terms of some of this aggression. You know, Elevate can be structured at times as well, but I just think for Order to stay in the game, they have to stay a little unconventional. So I'd love to see it. Ippy style, like we talked about him in that flank he had in that last round. He is on 12-5 right now. He's having a massive game for Order. He's really picking up the slack from Specker's unfortunate lack of appearance on the scoreboard, which is quite uncharacteristic.
Yeah, both Specker and Cutie, in fact. You know, Cutie has been an absolute beast in APAC South for Order, regardless of their results, has actually played phenomenally. And you'd even say, you know, the likes of Specker has been quite quiet in... Oh my god, speak of the devil. This is kind of compounding interest for a bad performance so far. Regardless of what he's doing on the outside, you know, I hate to discredit anything that a player would be achieving, whether it's comms or any kind of intel, but that is, again, another occasion where Spec has been taken down for free, and what was Jack Daddy doing there? He has a mirror in the pocket, and it looked like he was going to put it on the Kennel's wall.
A bomb has been located.
Not anymore, and not only is Kennel's open, they've also lost a player. Elevate looking primed to take this round.
Definitely in a great spot right now is Elevate. So it's just a matter of how they can continue to capitalize. Order are going to be pretty sandwiched in these positions. They can't give up rafters. That rotate is well and truly going to be cut from this Kennel's wall now. And likewise with these cash positions, because Elevate nice and early have got control of Master and Logistics.
Attackers have located a bomb.
So there may be a little cheeky drop below. It's all that Order could try and pull off here, but other than that, they're just going to try and hold fast and find a pick maybe.
Jack Daddy might find something on this tight little angle. Joker so lucky to be alive. And Jack Daddy, is that nade going to be even close? No, but this could be really dangerous if they go unaware of this position. C4's not going to find anything either. Raven, it's not looking good right now. Elevate full HP, and this should be an absolute crunch and a half. There you go. Joker going down, once again making it worse.
Yeah, can be tough. Cutie and Ippy style though, they step up and combine for 2. Does make it a 3 versus 3. Ippy style is in such a precarious position, and 15 seconds. Elevate are going to try and make this happen.
Oh, they've still got the mirror on that cash wall, so this is going to be so hard for them to get the plant down. They managed to crunch them, and in a 2 versus 3, Order bring it back from the grasps of Elevate.
That was well fought from Order, gotta say. Again, they're just capitalizing on opportunities they seize. It really felt like they were just back against the wall. Nothing could happen. Like, Elevate had almost a 5v2 man advantage. You know, Jack Daddy was on 10 HP or something ridiculous. And somehow Order have come out with that. A couple of missed opportunities here from Elevate. And the longer they keep Order in this, I don't know, I feel like that's going to be scarier for Elevate than it is for Order.
Definitely so. And you know the kind of comms that the Order would be screaming about right now. You know, these are some massive rounds. So some big rounds for both of these teams to be winning or losing. You know, in that previous one, the fact that it was so close, yet Elevate were able to kind of push it across that line in the last attempt of the round, the last phase. It's been a very, very interesting start to the second half. A lot more unconventional than the first half was. You know, we saw that push. I'm not sure whether they were pushing into garage or whether they were trying to fight kennels, but the second Elevate dropped those 2 players and it was back to a 3v3 or maybe a 3 versus 2 at that stage, they really only had the attention over in con. So they lost that, you know, that 3D attack, if you will, and it was really a bit of an awkward rush with the mirror facing into cash. That was just such a lovely little way of dealing with that push. So now we are definitely going to have to look to Elevate on their attacking side here, because Order have changed things up significantly. I don't mean just in this round, but just in the way that they're playing this, and it would be really hard to deal with.
Oh, and yeah, Cutie getting aggressive early. Could you imagine just off the back of that last round if Cutie had found that jump out? That would have been quite the morale hit. DCH though, his butt is saved for now. He's a little bit worried about it, but for now they're going to have to just continue to progress all on the west side. I don't know, DCH is all alone right now. Looks like they're prioritizing Jacuzzi Wall, and open it goes.
Nothing to contest just yet. You can see Cutie in strip now. What on earth is he looking to do? Surely you're not going to go for this kind of a run out. I could not imagine that that would ever pay off in a million years. You still have to get around the tall fence there just to find the player. Maybe they may be given something. They surely have some intel to go off here. But if they start to crunch, if Elevate start to push in a different direction, Cutie is so far away. It's going to be a little bit more awkward for him to have the impact. He comes out, doesn't find anything. Elevate have a bit of extra info now.
They do, and Cutie's just trying to stay active, and that is a missed opportunity by Naphew. Cutie just should have been caught. Oh my god, and there's another one! Just watching his rotate from the main stairs. Onigiri is the man, and he does shut Cutie down. No longer able to move those legs, but look, Cutie was elusive for the better part of 2 minutes. Not really sure whether it delayed Elevate in any progress, and now Naphew, he's creeping up these main stairs.
That could really put a bit of an awkward hindrance into Order's hold right now. They're a little bit split with the player in logistics, and Specker with his back turned. If he goes undetected right now, he's going to walk directly onto site. Jack that he falls, and there's... Oh, Specker! Hello, Specker! Doubles down for 2. But a 2 versus 3, Raven, they're so far from being able to play together in this instance. If Elevate push now, they may just be able to catch them out.
Onigiri gets the first. It's Ippy style. Joker's got 3 to find, but he can't. Onigiri. Another big round for him. A 3K, in fact. Elevate progress deeper. And 4-5. Again, still hard to separate these two teams.
There's just... We can see little pivotal moments in the round that are just completely catching these teams off. You know, Cutie... doing what Cutie does best, just being a nuisance, and that run out still manages to get away from a player there. Naphew finding the kill, then pushing up main stairs, undetected, finds the first kill. All of a sudden, it's up to Specker to try and throw a bit of a Hail Mary in Bathroom. It's just... it's so chaotic right now, and I love it. I love every single second of it. But as far as we're concerned, it is really... quite hard to call which team is coming out the better in these instances.
So many times too, I feel like one team has had the upper hand and, you know, no more than 30 seconds left, and then it just absolutely flips. So you just never really can be sure. So wait and see how this round progresses out. Now, I did see the Aruni 6 pick this time. Not going to get to see that little gate set up in Kitchen. Curious to see how Joker utilizes these mirrors though. I mean, there are a few strats I know of, at least for Church Arsenal with the mirror, but from what we've seen with Order, they've been trying some pretty new and interesting little strats. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it. He hasn't placed either of them yet.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm literally just watching and hoping we see something a little bit spicy. All right, one in the blue. And
like Church is going to be the other?
Yeah, it looks like it's unreinforced on that left-hand side facing outward, so that could be a potential. I guess the other place may be on Ash Wall. I mean, a lot less likely considering you've got the vertical lines from Kitchen, but I mean, with what Order are doing right now, nothing would surprise me. Literally nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see what Elevate do to deal with this. There is, of course, an elusive player on the top floor. It is Specker. Running around, his style waiting in storage to back him up. Doesn't look like Speck has found many drones though, and he's just going to go back to site. So this is much more of a turtle from Order as opposed to the 3-man off-site we saw previously. And there is that last mirror. It is on Church Wall. It's much more of a classic mirror that you would see on Clubhouse, as was the Arsenal one, really. But anyway, it does mean Elevate, you know, not only do they have to open the hatches, they do have to think about these mirror positions.
With that progress, we still have one being cheeky up top. No. Okay, so all 5 players bunkered down on the basement now, which is... I mean, at a minute 30 with no vertical control, there is no sound from Elevate right now. You'd say Order have won the first part of this round anyway.
Yeah, man, this clear has been real slow going. Sapper is finally in the kitchen, putting this exothermic charge down, and he is just yeeted by QDC4. That hatch is not going to be opened by Thermite. That's diffuser down. This has been a great round for Order right now.
And I guess the good thing here for Elevate is there's no more impacts in the pocket, but there's still 2 C4s, and right now, if you're on a Geary, you'd be a little bit more cautious, but he's already opened up blue, meaning that that's it. They have to maybe look at opening up the wherever these mirrors are being played from. This is going to be so hard for Elevate to make their way back from at the moment, Raven. They still have time to do it though, but they need to get a wriggle on.
They really do, but it is going to be tough. This is a great setup from Order. They've played it very well so far. And with less than 30 seconds, it's going to be quite the funnel from Elevate. It's either blue or it's got to be main stairs. I don't know. It's probably going to be split. Looks like they might stick blue. They're going to see this drop at the mirror. It's going to be well covered. 15 seconds. Here we go, man.
No, there's absolutely nothing for Angry to do, and Elevate have taken a little bit too long in trying to get in, but Napew opens up the bank account, Ippy style, swings from the back of blue. Napew, the last player left. A little bit of KD stat padding, but that is it. Order right now are cheering with that round. I mean, this may be the funnest game of Siege I've ever watched. I'm just going to say
it certainly feels like a unique match. There's been some really great strats and plays, and I love it. I love seeing this kind of play in the game. And I feel like a massive amount of credit in that last round in particular has got to go to getting the C4 kill on the Thermite on the hatch. That really just messed everything up from Elevate at that point forward. There wasn't much they could do. And again, we're trading rounds back and forth. Who will be able to edge forward? Order are going to go back to CCTV cash, which they held firm in the final moments way back in round 8.
Defenders, protect your bombs from...
Well, I mean, not only is this, probably the more interesting match I've ever seen, but this is the signs of life from Order that we've been asking for nearly 3 play days now, or nearly 4, I should say, as we're coming to the latter part of this 4th play day. So I'm, as an ANZ caster, an Australian caster, I am happy to see that Order have done this, but also for competition's sake, we're looking at Order now tidying up and becoming one of those competitive teams. If they can topple Elevate, the team that we have been, kind of pinning in as the titan of the APAC South region right now, they have been phenomenal. This would be a massive win for them, and I think it was Guz who was saying who Order have left to play. They've got the big teams out of the way. As far as I'm concerned, they've got Q Confirm, they've got they've got Wildcard, and finally they've got Chiefs. So on the back end of this season, the standings may be completely different to what we would have ever expected.
Yeah, certainly could switch it up, but they still have to lock in these points, something they have struggled with, not just in APAC South, but also OCN, or overtime games, for example. 3 points are definitely on the table for them to grab right now. They've just got to be able to close out these next 2 rounds.
Reloading.
This style in particular has stepped up huge for Order. There he is on the 17-6. Absolutely massive.
Drone activated.
I'm super curious right now. They just opened that mirror window from the right side of Garage. I don't know how they would have been able to... They had to have, right? Because that's behind the racks in CCTV. Goodness me. I didn't think you could get a line that would have been able to find a crouch position there. Regardless, we can move forward because now Elevate looking to open up the Kennel's wall, and it has been impact tricked, so I think it was just the one Selma charge that went off, and there's no more left. Granted, we still have 2 of the charges left on Thermite.
That's true, but that Kennel's wall is probably not going to go open, honestly. That's going to be really tough to be able to come back from. Napew is going to be off the board too. Specker is starting to get into this game. That's certainly going to be helping his team out. Going to try and open from construction. There's a lot of presence here for Elevate right now. 3 players, in fact, on this side of the map. Because again, Kennels is pretty much a lost cause at this point.
And once more, they still have that mirror window. They just need to be careful of Onigiri right now, who is creeping and crawling his way toward the Kennels opening. And Joker may well be caught in behind here. The problem is, once Elevate decide to go, Onigiri can really only play from this position. Oh, Joker forgets what Mouse 1 is. Oh, Cutie, there it is again! What is with Cutie and these C4s?
Man goes big on C4s. That's the headline. Cutie, right when his team needs it. Onigiri and DCH, they're in a 2v4 scenario right now. 20 seconds. They're just going to have to funnel from these lower positions. It's going to be so tough for them. They got no easy entry right now, Manic. They're going to try and split push this into Garage. Ooh, finds a good pick on Ippy style, but I think it's all going to be for dead. See if they can close it out. Order, a great round from them, and they are on match point.
Wow, if you had told me that this would have been the case when we were coming into this match, I would have told you you're barking mad. I'm pretty sure I predicted Order, and that goes to show just how much of an upset this actually is. I mean, we look back at Order's play days. They've had 2 overtime losses that they've been dealt, one against the Giants and one against the Knights. Arguably 2 of the top 3 teams in APAC South right now. And so this third and final hurdle that they need to get over, Elevate, who are ex-Xavier, for those of you who are joining us, of course, we probably need to mention that for anyone who may be joining halfway through the game. Elevate have picked up the Xavier roster in APAC South here. So this is a massive start and a massive opportunity for Order to kick drive their second half of APAC South.
And to look, even try and give it a little more perspective, as of the standings right now, this is seriously 8th versus 1st. Order on the bottom, Elevate on the top. If Order are to win this round and snag themselves the 3 points in this series, big upset, which only one of us predicted. I think it was actually you, right, Manic? Are you the one that went to the Order pick?
Might have been. Maybe.
Yeah,
a little bit of a cheeky 5 head, you know, a wrinkly brain moment.
Oh, no. But yeah, look, this is very unexpected, and Order have been playing phenomenally, and obviously Elevate haven't quite been ready for it. And regardless, this is a very hairy moment. Gym Bedroom, it was won by Elevate last time. I'm trying to recall how close it was. Doesn't feel like it was particularly close, but I don't know. The way Order played that catch CCTV defense, I just feel like there's something in the air right now, Manic.
It's whatever is in the air, it's confusing the hell out of me. I'll tell you that much, because I feel it too, and it's so confusing. This was not the storyline that we expected at all. This is just something completely different. This is the Order that many of us may have expected coming into this year, into 2021. You know, they had some good strides last year. They were looking really dangerous. They got the pickup from one of the biggest, I should say, orgs in ANZ, and you know, it's been a little underwhelming, but this could be it. This could be the turning point. This could be everything they needed. So just to give a little bit of context, that was, of course, Elevate's tactical timeout. And we've seen this a lot more from, we've seen it recently in play days, where these timeouts are coming in clutch. They are slowing the momentum down, and they're giving you time to really talk and figure out what it is that may be going wrong, or what it is that's giving you less confidence. Because right now, Elevate, this is not the same team we saw from the previous couple of weeks.
I mean, a great example of it working out is Elevate versus Q-Confirm last week.
Yep.
They took a timeout. They were down 5-1 on Cafe against Q-Confirm. And then they ended up winning it 7-5. They literally didn't lose a round after their timeout. So it's what they're going to be searching for again right now. They'll need to get 3 rounds to get the dub. Of course, importantly, they need to get this one just to force the overtime.
So is this the first time we've seen Thatcher being brought on either clubhouse attack, actually? So it feels like Elevate are just so sick of trying to deal with these hard breach denials, and they've just gone for it. They've sent it, grabbing in the Thatcher and dismissing any mute jammers or whatever may be placed on the wall. And they have very early on here found themselves a nice little opening.
Yeah, a lot of work being done with these the hard breaches, but you know, of all the rounds to bring Thatcher, there's really not a whole lot to actually catch out with those EMPs. It's really just the mute jammers and the ADSs. I mean, sure you could say Valkyrie's Black Eyes, but you're not using an EMP for a Black Eye. Not on purpose, at least. So either way, it has helped them get the wall open. Yeah, it has stopped those mute jammers being effective. And here we go. Selma onto the bathroom wall. It's not going to be safe because of that EMP. He's specking out under a lot of pressure here in the bathroom, but he's still got this little edge that he can hold on to.
That is really unfortunate for Elevate, and unless I believe there would be a Napier hearing that, believe there would be an ADS in the bathroom with Jack Daddy, so he should be able to hold onto it for a little while longer, regardless of those two nades we see on Napier there. And outside of that, they don't really have a lot to flush him out of. They've got the smokes on Onigiri, the flashes, but once again, this may be the start and the end that Order were hoping for.
Big pick too, you know, Onigiri has been in hot form for Elevate in this match. With 40 seconds, they've been quite stalled out. They do have some walls open, but Order still have some great positions. Napier with a big frag grenade to take out Joker. They are looming on this attack, Manic. They are pushing for this overtime, but can they lock this in?
Well, that's it. They've got 20 seconds to do so. The last nade that will be used from Napier. Cutie swings wide, denies it having any use. Two players out on Jacuzzi balcony. They're going to have to push their way in. They have no other opportunity. DCH is going to come up main stairs, but they already have the inkling that that's the decision. There's 3 seconds left. How has this happened? Order, have they been able to pull this out? You bet your bottom dollar they have. Order have just taken down the Titans of APAC South and given themselves, crowned themselves with the first 3 points of their campaign.
A big step up for Order tonight, and I mean, look, if you start MVP, you'll see the scoreboard, you won't wonder why, it's very obvious, and just the stars of Order stepping up when needed. Cutie had a very quiet game, but he had such big impact with the kills he did get in those later rounds. This is a massive win for Order, obviously probably the biggest wins they'll get this stage.
Yep, that is just huge. And the thing was, it wasn't a blowout, it was a closely contested match from start to finish.